Dan, I do want to start here with this idea that we've had, anytime you have a big rally, you're always going to have these daily pullbacks, even weekly pullbacks, if you will. That doesn't necessarily mean the rally is over. And I do wonder if you see enough fundamental case there for this rally to reset and continue.
Yeah, look, I view it as a bump in the road because it's our view, when you think about AI revolution, you're just continuing to get validation from earnings and from everything we see from the data center, as well as just overall demand. We'll see that from Godfather of AI, Jensen, NVIDIA, as we go into next week. And look, I continue to view this is a 1996 moment, not a 1999 or 2000 moment. And that's our view. I mean, this is a tech bull market that will continue to rage on in second half of the year into next year, given we're talking about a fourth industrial revolution that we're actually just living through.
When we talk about that fourth industrial revolution, everyone, of course, wants to know how that includes stocks other than, say, NVIDIA or Microsoft. I know we've talked about this before, the idea of the AI trade broadening. And it does appear investors are hungry for that, looking for who the next beneficiaries of this are going to be. Are they visible yet?
I think they're starting to be visible. I mean, we have our AI 30 list where we talk about the derivatives. It's not just, look, of course, it's led by NVIDIA, it's led by Microsoft, it's led by, big tech, Meta, and others. But now it's second, third, fourth derivatives. Nebius is a good example. You never would have talked about them a year ago. You look what's happening on cybersecurity. You never would have said it as an AI name, Palo Alto, CrowdStrike. You look on Palantir 2 years ago, no one talked about it. A year ago, maybe, haters would talk about it. Look what's happened there. And the sell-off today, I just view as just a small bump in the road to what I believe is a $1 trillion market cap next 2 or 3 years. So my view is, and that was a great illustration what you talked about, it's going to spread. Second, third, fourth derivatives. And I always say, when the bears are in hibernation mode, they can see AI in the spreadsheets.
One thing that I found interesting about the rally, certainly this particular year that we've been in, is sort of the participation that we've started to see amongst old tech companies. We talked a lot in the past on this program about Oracle. Today, we take a look at Intel, and I know Intel has a lot of issues. But to see not just so much the rally in the shares today, but the vote of confidence that Masayoshi Son and SoftBank had to put up $2 billion to invest in this company, do you think Intel is going to find a spot in this with AI revolution, tech revolution, whatever you want to call it?
Look, I think the problem is they're just years behind, right? In terms of, you look at what Intel has done the last few years, has been just a massive black eye. Now, clearly, like SoftBank vote of confidence, obviously U.S. government, that's a little, call it obviously a champagne moment today. But I just think this is an Everest-like uphill battle. They're years behind other competitors when you look at NVIDIA, AMD, TSMC. And I just think, look, there's a better chance of me playing Ryder Cup Bethpage in September than Intel catching these other chip players, and that's the reality.
So what do you think Intel can be, or more importantly, what do you think it will end up being? Does it get bought? Does it get chopped up and into different pieces, or does it just kind of wither on the vine and go away?
I think chopped up. It's going to have to be strategically split. I mean, that's our view. Look, I get right now you're talking about one of the a core U.S. tech asset. You look at their customer base, but the reality is, like market's telling you, I mean, of course you had today, but strategically that this is probably a company that's going to have to split up. I think that's part of the problem is that these tech companies, when you look at the ones that participate, they're so far ahead of the competition. And Intel, they've been on a treadmill almost, 2.5 speed or lower.